All right. Check. Okay, I'm mic 2. Mic 2. What to do? Okay, I'm mic 2.
Uh-oh, it doesn't want to turn on.
All right. Let's get a mic check from Marcio.
Mic
Time?
Mic check.
One more time?
Mic check. Mic check. Oh, there we go. That's
okay.
Number
All right, now
3.
Pinky.
Hello? The moon isn't working anymore.
All right.
No.
All right. Do we have an extra USB over there?
No, but that computer might have one.
Does it turn on? Is it on? Oh, I see something on the desk there.
On the very.
Are we live?
We are live.
Oh, cool. This is a show about a show. This is a podcast about a podcast. We're under construction.
Under construction. We are learning what we are doing. We are the Vibe Style. My name is Marcel Powers. I dabble in art, nonviolent communication, and permaculture, as well as a million other things. I ran for mayor once. That was crazy.
Oh, yeah, true.
And this is Pinky.
Yeah, I'm Pinky. I stream on Twitch. And I hang out and talk to people.
So, how do you feel about marijuana?
I love it.
How do you feel about the use of the word marijuana?
I guess I have no feelings about it. It's a very, I guess you could say, proper way of saying weed.
There was actually a lot of controversy over the use of the word marijuana because it was actually used in the campaigns against it because it was the more Hispanic name. So I actually try not to say it, but sometimes I say it unconsciously. Like just now, I wanted to ask you about cannabis, and I said marijuana to a Hispanic person. That's a thing.
I didn't realize because
That's
it's
a
Hispanic.
But yeah, it's a Hispanic rights thing. That's to use marijuana. Did you know about that? PC marijuana cannabis words.
So
Yeah, scoot in with us.
Oh.
Yeah, you can scoot closer to her, but then put your mic.
No,
as on
there you go. Oh yeah. So the word marijuana is now derogatory. It's always been derogatory. Now we know.
It was originally decided to use the Hispanic word for marijuana because they used that huge campaign of that Mexican man cutting up that family with a chainsaw in Texas.
What?
And said it was all because of the marijuana.
You're talking about Chainsaw Massacre, Texas Chainsaw Massacre?
No, I don't think, maybe it was. I don't know the full story, but there was a man and some family got murdered and they blamed a Hispanic man, or maybe he actually did it. That's still not totally clear. And they said it was Hispanics doing marijuana that was causing this, and they used the marijuana word a lot, so they would translate it to crimes with people coming over the border.
Whoa, that's crazy.
So there's like a PC culture that says you're not supposed to say marijuana, you're supposed to say cannabis.
Well, the reason why it became illegal was because of
Is cannabis the
racism.
scientifically accurate word in English for it? Or is it still scientifically called marijuana in English?
I don't know if it became illegal because of racism or racism was a good tool in that. Racism was actually used to promote the suffragette. Susan B. Anthony would be like, a nigger can vote, but I can't. What is this? Or a Negro can vote, but I can't. What is this? And everybody's like, Susan B. Anthony's awesome, but she used racism to get women the right to vote.
Wow.
You know, hold on, let me say something. That reminds me of this story of, you guys, everybody knows about the story of the guy here in Florida that was high on bath salts that ended up eating someone else's.
Oh my God, I was here. I was in Miami when that happened.
Oh my God.
That happened right down the street from me.
So did you guys ever do bath salts when they were around?
No,
the thing
absolutely
is
not.
That
my ex
story,
brought them home. It was some dark mojo. I just like went to bed immediately. It's like, I don't want to be a part of any of it that happened in my consciousness after this.
Not good.
That's crazy. But you know that story, it turns out that the media over exaggerated and publicized that story, saying that he was high on bath salts, but actually this man had already had a You're covering my face. This man has already had a history with anger problems and mental illnesses, and he wasn't on anything other than weed when he ate that person's face off. And people said that he was high on bath salts because of his arrest record, but there was nothing in his system except for alcohol and weed.
Wow.
Isn't that crazy?
That is crazy.
Why would it be misconstrued like that?
Because who's gonna believe that someone ate someone else's face off because they were high on weed?
Or maybe some
Mental
eyewitness
illness
said,
makes
"Oh,
sense.
he was on bath salts, or he had been taking bath salts recently." Because bath salts were in Florida. I didn't know that that's what they were. Banks was just like, "Look at this purple rock. You snort it," and I was like, "Okay." And then I was like, "This is fucking awful." And then my nose bled. It was terrible.
Holy shit!
And then my neighbor was doing it. It's crazy. He'd be like hiding in the bushes with a knife. Fucking.
That doesn't sound very fun.
No.
Hiding in the bushes with a knife.
I don't know, the neighbor was just weird. I think he was like kind of like stalkery, like single white female, you know, something like.
It was a girl?
No, he
Yeah.
in a townhouse. So I don't know. I always felt like I don't know. It's hard to live alone when you're a woman.
Yeah, no, I feel that.
I bet.
Yeah.
Picky's got some stories about people hiding in the bushes.
Yeah, I helped pull my knife out on a guy one time. I live on 4th Street South. Yeah, I live there, and that's like probably one of the most ghetto areas of St. Pete, I think. And damn, yeah, I remember the guy hiding behind the bushes, and he was walking by me because I parked my car because my car parks on the side of the road, and he walked by my car, and he looked at me, and then he started walking slower and slower, and then I watched him in the rearview mirror go behind a bush and just stand there for 5 minutes, and I stared at him in the rearview mirror, and I got my knife out of my purse, and I pulled out the blade, and I opened up the door, and as I opened up the door, he started walking really fast to my car, and I showed him my knife, and he went, "Whoa, whoa, whoa, I just wanted to ask where your man's at."
At what time? What time?
At
was the time?
3 in the morning. Yeah.
What does it matter where your
I
man is?
know. What the fuck is he planning? I know.
Yeah, I yell at all strange men now. I'm just like, don't approach me alone at night. It's just a rule I have if you're a guy and I don't know you.
Yeah.
Don't approach me on the side of the road in a parking lot at night. Just don't approach women. Men out there, don't approach a woman in the middle of the night you don't know.
Yeah, I literally, whenever I take my trash out, I bring my knife with me, and I usually keep the blade out because I'm so paranoid just bringing my trash to the trash bins.
Could you offer help from a distance, like across the street or something? Like, hey, you need any help or anything? You all right or something? Could you do that, or is even that weird?
Yeah, you might activate some strong protectors from that woman that are like, why do you think I need help?
So just leave her alone.
Yeah, if it's late at night, you don't know her, just wait until the daytime. You're gonna meet a nicer person.
Well, she's probably armed. My daughter, she's armed now because something happened.
Oh no.
Someone asked her friend to get in the car, and my daughter acted like she had like a taser to scare the guy off away from her friend. And so now she has a real taser, pepper spray, and a pocket knife. And I had to talk with her yesterday about not getting in trouble at school for her weapons. Yeah.
She has a pocket knife and a taser now?
Yeah, and mace.
Holy shit.
Well, I don't know. Can she bring those in school?
No, she cannot.
Yeah.
No, she knows she
Holy
can't.
shit, she better not have any kind of depression or suicidal tendencies with those knives.
No. She just wants to, get the bad guy or be safe or feel safe. Avoid a bad guy. I don't know.
Okay.
It's kind of a lot for.
Kids have a lot of imagination. I mean, about those girls that killed their best friend because they wanted to sacrifice her to some weird shit they saw on the internet.
Oh my god.
What?
OMG.
Yeah.
Is that Sandman or is it a new one this time?
Slenderman, yeah.
Slenderman.
Yeah.
Slenderman.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's a dark Chakra.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like on one hand, I don't know. If I was your daughter's age and I had a knife on me, actually I had a box cutter knife. I don't know. I guess every person is different, and you know how back in the day people were romanticizing emo people cutting themselves and stuff.
Yeah.
And everyone kind of did that.
Yeah, I went through that phase.
Yeah, me too. And I had a buck, and all I had was a little box cutter when I was a little kid. And kids are very imaginative. I don't know. That's all I'm gonna say. They, yeah.
I don't know what phase the kids are in.
Yeah, true.
Could it be a?
I highly doubt the kids will be going through any cutting phases again anytime soon. I hope not.
It's terrible.
I can't believe that was a phase that all of society kind of went through. Like everybody was cutting themselves out.
Wow, I actually cut my arm once.
I wonder what was
disturbed teenager.
It must have been like the whole society as a whole must have just been hurting everybody in general at that time.
Mine looked like kitten scratches, and the police came to my house, and I asked to be Baker acted because I was scared of my dad.
Uh-oh.
And I didn't even get kept for 24 hours because they were like, this girl doesn't have any mental issues. Like my rainbow pictures. And I was like, but I do, because my dad was abusing me and I wanted to control my own pain.
Mm-hmm.
So
did you say 5150?
What's 5150?
Oh, okay.
She was saying Baker Act.
Oh, Baker Act. What's 5150?
What's Baker Act?
Baker Act in Florida is when someone is harmed to themselves or to others if they think they are, they can commit themselves. So a family member can commit you, or like a public service.
It's what I was telling you and Triple about that we could do with Catherine.
Right, that was our last discussion.
Yeah.
Was
she just moved the
that was like the most like real thing I heard about concerning Kat was maybe checking her in.
She's like depressed and suicidal, and also not even trying to get a job. If you're depressed, suicidal, homeless, jobless, and not even trying to help yourself, then what are you trying to do? Is waste away and die?
Yeah.
And that's probably what she was trying to do.
And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, today, new language.
Wow.
She is looking for a job.
Yeah, that means she wants to live.
She wants to live.
Mm-hmm.
She realized she has a foot in the grave. She's ready to get that foot out of there.
Needs to learn to love herself, and that no man will love her if she can't have love for herself, and she can't ever love a man if she doesn't have love for herself either. And all these things, and I don't know. I think that part of that probably really struck home with herself, because the first step to loving yourself is to actually take care of yourself, and she needs to start taking care of herself. And I don't know. Maybe what I said helped, but I don't know. Maybe she just is so sick of herself right now, because she actually told me that she was really sick of herself, like sick of feeling sorry for herself and all that too. I feel like you have to get to a point where you feel sick of yourself before you can finally make a change sometimes. Maybe what I said helped her realize the reasons why she's getting frustrated with herself. I hope at least. I sent her a long message, like an hour of texting.
Wow. Was she responding back? Was it a dialogue or a monologue?
No, zero response. Via text.
Yeah, I just sent her like a really, really long message.
She gave Kat the booger treatment. I was like, when I read that, I was like, oh shit, that's me, because I drilled her.
I was a little.
And I didn't mean to.
Her.
No, you were not. You were not. You were not. And she even told you were not. And she told me I really wasn't either. And she knew where I was coming from when I did it. It was just she needed the firm voice, you know. She needed the sternness. I felt like everyone was just coddling her too much. So it was just like it wasn't working. Whatever everyone was doing wasn't working. Right. So I used big boy voice on her, and it scared her away. She left.
She ran out of the house.
She ran away. And I wasn't kicking her out. I was just using big boy voice. And yes, I went a little too far. I admit it, and I apologized.
Yeah, because she was crying and he was still going, and she was telling him to stop, and he kept going.
I've done that with my kids sometimes.
Yeah.
But it's when they've done something repeatedly, like when my son got kicked out of multiple childcare centers.
It just drives me nuts caring about someone that doesn't care about themselves, you know?
Right.
It just was crazy. And she's talking about things that don't matter, like dick. You know, it's like, come on, like, can we talk about something else? Like,
she's talking about penises?
The reason why she doesn't have a job is because she keeps on going man to man to man, and instead of looking for a job, she's looking for a man to take care of her. I think she's like got some kind of like, I don't know. Because the way it is that she looks like a teenager that doesn't never learn how to take care of herself. And I think that maybe she's looking for a parental kind of, not guidance, but like, looking for someone that'll give her the same love that maybe she didn't get from her parents.
Maybe she just reincarnated from the 1500s where women couldn't have jobs and she has no idea how to do this.
Maybe.
The modern way where we hustle and grind.
Maybe that could be it too. Although she's
I
constantly.
always think about that when people are overly afraid of the pandemic. I'm like, well, they could have just incarnated from the bubonic plague or some shit. So I don't know what their soul journey is.
History repeats itself.
Yeah. Actually, we're coming to an age where history stops repeating itself, and that's the thing that's going to blow our minds.
Yeah, because we have this whole new thing.
An end of an era.
An end of an era.
Well, I think that the internet.
History has been repeating itself in the old paradigm because we're changing.
I think that the internet has changed humanity completely, like entirely, to the point where we're so different that it's going to be next to impossible to repeat certain things from history because humanity has so fully changed that we would never get back to that way again because the way the internet, we all learn so much from the internet and we all become, it like unites us all as a whole kind of in a way, even though everyone kind of hates on each other on the internet, we're all still united.
And the pandemic.
A digital age.
The pandemic helped evolve humans 70 years in a few years technologically because everyone had to use Zoom or something.
That's right.
Yeah.
We're forced to think and act differently. And people opened up their eyes too about their lives and their careers or their jobs.
Their
and
marriages.
everything, right? It was a moment of reflection, right? 2020.
I want my money for staying in my marriage. Jim Gaffigan joke. People who stayed in their relationship deserve money. I want my money, my pandemic marriage
Like
money.
Yeah.
Some Biden bucks.
I made it. We did enough therapy. Well, I did enough therapy.
We need more Biden bucks, right?
Right?
Things are never going to be the same, and a part of that is the whole workforce thing. Like everyone's hiring, but no one wants to work, or no one's getting paid enough, or you have to make triple the rent, or it's just the whole dynamic.
It's
Everything's
an
different.
economy. So everybody talks about like Nasara was blown up with 9/11, right? But Nasara wasn't a paper form or an economy that would evolve on us. Nasara is a consciousness that we evolve into and how we see money and distribute resources. So we slowly are downloading Nasara or Jasara right now. If you know what that is.
No, never heard of it.
Oh, well, I thought if you were into the 9/11 stuff, you would know Nasara. Nasara is a new economy, a global abundance pin where resources are, it's a consciousness.
Okay. I know there was another building that was not covered in the media that had a ton of gold in it that was also demolished at the very exact same time.
What everybody was theorizing as far as Nasara was that it was in the tower and that it was actually data files of how to redistribute the world's economy.
Wow. And that was one of the reasons why the building was destroyed.
That's one of the theories.
Wow.
That was the one I found most credible when I was interested in such things.
Wow.
But guys, don't hold on to anything too seriously.
Right. Well, 9/11
Because-
is mysterious, right?
Right. Because when we hold on to these theories too seriously and take them on as our identity, we destroy our happiness.
I remember where I was when it happened. I saw
Yeah.
the second plane hit on live TV.
Right.
I was in San Antonio, Texas.
Mm.
And that was shocking. Hearing cuss words on live TV.
Yeah,
That
I
was
remember I was in like first or second grade and I still remember watching it live on TV too.
So I was skipping class in high school when this happened and came back to class with the same teacher. Same teacher I had another period, and then I skipped an extra lunch to see a boy, and then I came in and nobody came out. Couldn't figure it out. Where's everybody? Then we went back after the bell rang, and then my teachers didn't say shit. They were just like, "You were just skipping." I was just sat alone with my friend while everybody else was like, "Oh my god."
I'm almost freaking out.
Like I'm hiding out trying not to get caught for skipping class. So we're like, where the fuck is second lunch? You know how you'd have first lunch, second lunch, third lunch, or you're trying to like my crush, at the second lunch, or her crush and my crush,
Mm-hmm.
So go back in. What's going on? You don't know?
You don't know what's going on?
We've been watching this the last 20 minutes. Where were you? The bathroom with leaking problems.
It definitely sent out a shockwave.
Oh,
and
for sure.
before 9/11, terrorists were just like bad guys in movies.
And I remember back then they would show on the live TV, they would zoom in on the people falling, and I have very vivid memories of watching people falling to their death, jumping out of the buildings. But now when you look online, you can't even find any of that footage anymore. It's been wiped from the internet. Like it's like they've just like hidden all the footage of the people falling to their deaths and stuff, like the real gruesome stuff that they showed live on TV. That shit, you can't find it anymore.
Unless someone recorded it, and that's the only way, pretty much.
But no, I mean, people that recorded it and posted it online, they all got removed. Like if you look online to find the videos
Well,
zoomed in,
we
of
can
people
relax that it's all in the Akashic Records forever. And you can always go back to the Akashic Records and look at it from a 3D perspective or 5D or however many dimensions perspectives. But not on like a 2D surface.
And some of the footage, it looks like charges are going off too. Like maybe it was almost like detonations.
So
the way the building collapsed.
Wait, did you call it a conscious record or what did you say it was?
A conscious record? I'm sorry.
Akashic
Records.
Akashic.
Akashic Records are the records of the entire history of the planet and all the other human civilizations that have lived here. Traveling. All of our true history is stored in crystals. It's Akashic record, and we're learning how to access it.
Like naturally through the vibrations through the earth getting stored into crystals, or
it has partially to do with the crystals, and it has also partially to do with the magnetic field of the earth around the earth. But yes, everything that ever has happened in the earth exists, and you can access it. There are a bazillion Akashic readers on Fiverr that will read you your Akash, and you can access your Akashic records and know everything. But you have to get over a fear of privacy, because there's no privacy in the Akashic records. You know everything, and everyone knows everything about you.
And people just like get into it by like tuning into the frequency or into the vibration.
We are having access to the Akashic records for the first time because we don't have to worry about tigers eating us anymore or surviving. So as a species, we're getting access to our Akashic records. But our biggest hang up on getting our access to our Akashic records is the fact that we're afraid of our privacy or someone else controlling the flow of information.
Do the magnetic poles?
But yeah, I think butterflies.
Future
Yes.
things happening in the
Yes,
records.
you can access the future selves too.
So could this eventually be like a minority
But you
report
won't think of
scenario?
things future and past. And kindergartner asked them to mediate the disagreement. So young age or how the disagreement mediated, they'll just naturally do that and won't get into physical fights.
I wish that we did that in these schools.
Wow.
A lot of protectors come up and teachers, so they're like, I want to be seen in the school.
Yeah.
They're like, we're not violent.
Damn.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's very interesting.
Yes.
Well, you don't know about the Akash?
I thought I've heard of something like that, but maybe it's more like Kundalini or something different.
Kundalini is
I don't know.
your
Something different.
it's chakra.
Yeah. Yeah.
So many chakra awakenings.
Yeah, you're
Space chakra.
Space chakra?
Which one is the space chakra?
Which one's this? Oh no, I said so many chakras awakenings.
Oh yeah, I thought you said Kundalini or.
Oh, the base chakra.
Oh,
the
base
chakra. Base chakra.
I was like, what? Space chakra?
That'd be cool. Have a chakra in outer space.
Yeah.
Are there more than 7 chakras?
Yes,
Extended?
I actually had an engineer at NASA in Casa Vega draw me out the 22 chakra system that we're evolving to have, which I can't find anywhere
An
online. What's
engineer?
up with this internet? What's up with this? I had an engineer at NASA show me the 22 chakra system, but we don't have it readily accessible to everybody.
And that engineer lives in Casa Vega?
No, she was there for a fun weekend, just like we were. Do you ever go to Casa Vega?
Yeah, I love Casa Vega.
We're gonna be going on a road trip there soon. You want to go?
My mom and I have been going to Casa Vega since I was literally like a little kid. I've never stayed at the hotel. I've always wanted to go. It's like one of the more haunted hotels. You know, when I was a little kid and I was speaking to a psychic, they told me that they saw me. Well, they told my mom that they saw me performing and being on stage, and that was back when I was an insanely shy kid that would never be performing or be on stage at all. I remember thinking to myself, "What the hell? No way!" But I started becoming a Disney princess once I became an adult. Now I'm performing on Twitch every day. I don't know, and I've always had accurate readings of psychics in Casa Vega, always, except for once. But other than that, like, and I've gone like throughout my entire life. I've been many times.
Cool.
Yeah. I don't know. I love Casa Vega.
Something happened. You got a prediction, or someone gave you
Well, I mean, I got a bunch of right predictions. I mean,
there was a big one though that involved like pregnancy or something, or
no.
you were gonna meet somebody or something,
Ooh.
and then it all
Love
came
is in
true.
there.
Well, yeah, but I mean, it wasn't like that guy was the one. And she told me even in the prediction that, oh, he's not going to be someone you're going to be with forever. And she was right. It was just telling me that she saw me traveling by myself, and I was like, what the fuck? I'm not going to travel by myself. But it turned out I was traveling by myself to visit this guy. So.
You know, my mom did that for me when I was really young. Just told me all the ages and to meet all the great loves of my life. And it really made me sort of dismissive to the other guys I met at other ages. And I didn't think I needed to treat them that way. You know?
Yeah.
Like, oh, this isn't a real thing. This is just a fun.
Yeah. Same, yeah.
But the energy there is very potent. It's the psychic capital of the world, right?
You have to be psychic. You have to be a certified psychic to live there. So yes.
Wow.
You
Okay.
can't live there if you don't go to their school for psychic. And they have a whole process of, what is it? It's I don't know. They have like a certain amount of guides and a certain amount of, have they told you your guides and all that?
They haven't.
And you have a certain number of angels. Like we talked with the minister from the head church. They also have this cool instrument that you put down. I forget the name of it. But you put it down during a seance, and it's like a trombone. It's a special kind of trombone, and the spirits start playing it. It's really cool. And another thing you can do is if you have a dark area of your house, you don't go in very much, like an attic, you can put a paper and a pen in it and shut it and ask this. If you have any ghosts in your house or think you might, ask them to write you a message, and they'll write you messages on pen and paper.
Whoa, that's a little bit spooky.
The protoplasm is the darkness. It survives better in darkness. That's
Wow.
What?
Dark matter.
Whoa.
Dark matter's good stuff.
We should try that in your garage or something, somewhere in your house. Because I ain't trying that in my place.
This thing.
I don't want to know if
Take
I have
this in
ghosts
there.
in my place. You know, I recently found out that my apartment complex is actually a place that used to be a motel that got turned into an apartment complex. And it must have been a really shitty, sleazy hotel because that place was really shitty and small. But it makes me think that what if there's like a bunch of like, I don't know, people that have died from drug overdoses or like hookers and stuff that have died or gotten killed there. I don't know.
That's in the immediate history. Think about all those thousands of years of history of people dying everywhere.
Yeah. When I was a little kid, I used to, for some reason, have this really weird imagination where I would just walk around and ever I'd go and I would look at the floor, I would just imagine that every single drop of every single part of the floor was covered in at least some kind of blood, like for some animal, some person, everywhere. Because it is true, everywhere you go, everywhere you step has had blood spilled in somewhere.
Were you looking at it in reverence as like a sacred experience?
When I was a kid, I was just like, I don't know, it's just how I saw the planet, I guess, when I was a kid. I don't know.
Covered in blood.
I guess.
No. Like the Sherman-Williams logo, where it's just blood all over it. You seen that
There's
logo?
something about that
Popular.
logo stands out to me.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like it. It doesn't look good.
No,
It's a
got
big bucketed space pouring paint on top of the planet, and it's like
blood
splashing and gushing. out, almost like a volcano, or it looks like something's hitting the planet. Like it's like I feel like it's a sign, like we're gonna get hit by an asteroid or something.
I think that's
I
like
think it's-
blood being spilled over Earth.
It says cover the earth, is what it says.
Yes, they might be part of
The what?
the cabal.
And what's the cabal?
A bunch of people losing power in the new Earth that are falling apart and attacking each other, but still scare people who are getting into this because they're just being aware that an elite group of people committing weird occult rituals have been ruling the world. Like if you look at some of the wars that have happened, they match up with like different pagan and occult holidays, and a lot of wars have been blood rituals and things and bombings.
Oh,
But
shit.
blood magic's not as powerful anymore as light worker magic. Since we
Blood
had
magic
a
was
big
more
shift
powerful back then?
for thousands of years, blood magic was more powerful. But we've had a shift since started in the 80s, but it really happened in like 2012, where I can feel it energetically that my magic was more powerful.
I remember in 2012, in the early 2000s was there that I, for whatever reason, I was like, I don't know, 13, 14. Well, actually, no. By the time I was like 12, I was already being really into spirits and ghosts and psychic shit, and I was like seeing ghosts around my house. These days, though, I've blocked myself from it. I don't see that shit anymore. I wish I did, but I don't know. Once I started to like look into what I was seeing and whatever, I started getting really, really obsessed with spirituality. And then I started having a group of friends in my high school that were super obsessed with spirituality and the crystals and healing and vibrations and chakras and aliens. And I remember it was like, it almost felt like there was a big shift. And I went to high school, I started school in 2012. So that was probably around that time that everyone was like saying that there was this big shift going on. And I remember noticing like everyone that I knew was kind of waking up into this spiritual idea. And I don't know. I feel like then it kind of died down the next couple of 8, 9 years. But I think these last couple of years since COVID started, it's picking back up with everyone.
Trippy.
How did you feel when you hung out with your friends that were spiritual and into crystals and stuff?
I felt like, I don't know, I felt like they were my only kind of friends I could really talk to, and I don't know.
Sort of like a heart warmth.
Yeah, because all I ever wanted to talk to about was that stuff back then, especially back then when I was like new and like, new and exciting. Yeah. Although I can still find more things to learn about spirituality to make it new and exciting still.
Yeah, I've been wanting to start a new. I did a Fukushima meditation event. Friends made Fukushima, and I want to do another one for closure on COVID, where everybody can feel, or completion, where everybody can feel complete, everybody can feel heard, and because so many people don't feel complete or like their voice wasn't heard. And I think if we had that, maybe we could start moving on.
I've been feeling that lately, actually.
That your voice isn't heard?
Just incompletion. Maybe it has to do with Elena. There's there's something going on because I still.
It's because the drama hasn't ended yet.
I have this tone in my voice to this day.
Yeah, to this day you seem to hold on to some kind of anger or something about it.
I feel it. But I'm ready to talk to her. I'd like to squash the beef. It's about that time.
Yeah.
Well, what is the feeling, the body sensation when it comes to thinking about it?
I look tense, right?
Yeah, you do.
Yeah.
But where is it feeling? Be with the feeling.
I guess the root of everything is we just weren't on the same page, I guess. And I had I felt like loss or like kind of like heartbroken or something.
Like a misalignment.
But it was all a lie. It wasn't real. It was all in my head. And so I guess that
well,
makes
it was real to you.
Yeah, but it was an illusion.
How you feel is real.
Well, okay. I will tell you what's real to me.
Right.
Totally my car. almost driving off a cliff, but I woke up to hitting a rail instead of driving off a
He
cliff.
feels
So,
Because of how you felt.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it feels like because he drove off and
And how
almost
you
died
feel
from
is
her.
real.
that to me was real. I got up and left because I was with somebody else.
But he was drunk.
Romantically, you were with someone
Yeah.
else?
Yeah.
And were you physically with the other person you were romantically with when she told you? Like, was she in the room listening to her talk?
No. But me and Elena spent a lot of time together. We got to know each other very well on a personal level. And when she told me she liked me, I took that to heart and I got in my car and left. I drove off drunk at like 4 a.m, an hour away to the pot farm in the mountains on those windy roads.
Yes,
I blacked out. I blacked out before.
Right.
I blacked out before I got off the freeway. So I
Oh my
exited the
goodness,
freeway
darling.
in complete darkness.
Oh, darn.
And
So it
then-
activated a runner.
Well, when she hooked up with my friend, it was like if it was someone else, I wouldn't think about it or care. But it's my friend, and it's in my face, and it just made me realize, whoa, we're not on the same page.
No.
So I felt the sting, and maybe I still feel it.
Do you feel like you almost died because you cared about her and that's why you drove off?
I don't know. I left because maybe I couldn't tell her. Maybe I liked her too and couldn't tell her or something.
I feel
So
like
you have like
can't.
a chooser who
I feel
chose to live.
Or
Go on.
I don't know. I feel like you're. I don't know. I feel like you're blaming her, saying that.
I'm not blaming her for anything. I never blamed her for
Oh.
anything. The only thing I blamed her for
what
was
she said as the reason you
her-
drove off.
It's
Well,
less about
that's why I
our
left.
relationship with other people, but it's my relationship with myself when I'm with you. So for him leaving was his relationship with himself. He made a very dangerous choice in his relationship with himself by leaving. And to care about someone so much that you put yourself in physical jeopardy like that is what he wants understanding of.
That's right. I was never mad at her. I was always mad at myself. I'm mostly mad at myself because I can't process this the way you or Marcel or anybody else can. It's like a heavy thing it's like a moment of reflection.
This means me too.
Huh?
It means me too.
Oh,
it
yes.
means there's some things
not
that
alone.
happen that I can't process very well.
I just go through this state of depression and I just keep thinking that I suck because I can't like overcome this epiphany or I can't come to this conclusion so easily. I can't. It's like I'm stuck. I feel like trapped.
Where are you
and
trapped?
To this day,
You're
still
driving
tense.
that car
I'm still
on that bridge.
I think you know what? I'm probably gonna feel this way until her and I squash it or talk.
It doesn't have to be
I don't
with
know.
her. It
No.
has-
Her and I just need to talk.
Yeah,
We need to have a conversation
that would help.
because she started doing this passive aggressive thing with me, and then I started doing it too, and then weeks went by, and then all of a
that's
sudden,
what I was feeling.
my
They've been arguing for like 3-4 months now.
Your friend Brennan and Elena together at your house, that was bad vibes. That was bad vibes. I was pissed. I could not remember their names. Nothing about the situation
Yeah,
was memorable.
that's right.
Yeah.
She had the tension. Yeah, she's just doing the whole tension thing, and
It was weird because
it-
they were just looking at their phone.
well, that was met, I think.
Yeah.
And she did not like him, or she wasn't feeling him, and then he wasn't feeling her, or he wasn't feeling her vibes
Oh.
because her vibes were downward, not canine, downward vibes.
Mm-hmm.
And I should talk to her sooner, but I fed into it. I could easily talk to Pink and everybody else, like, why is she coming over here and ignoring me and giving me dirty looks and not saying anything? But I couldn't say it to her. I could never approach her for some reason.
You want to role play? You want me to be Elena? And you can say it to me? I can be Jackal Elena or Giraffe Elena. I can be me and Elena.
I don't think so
Or-
because I don't know gonna come out.
Yeah.
There could be so much. And the thing is, there's a good chance that sober Elena or drunk Elena, one of those versions.
Oh, just like
Or-
hungry Elena and not hungry.
Well,
looking her
yeah.
character reaction.
Well, for sure, there's a different Elena, sober and drunk.
Mhm.
And I'm
You
not
wanna talk to
sure.
her sober?
I'm not sure which one I'm gonna get yet, and I'm not sure what kind of level we're gonna be on, or how we're. I mean, I could spill my heart to her, and there's a good chance it's not even gonna matter.
You're definitely gonna want to make
I-
sure she's sober. I don't think you're gonna want to talk to her when she's drunk about it.
I just get the feeling that she's doesn't really care, or she's not gonna matter things that I have to say to her. So
I would recommend an internal consensus and work on your relationship with yourself.
yeah.
Skip the relationship
Yeah.
with Elena.
Oh, I've given up on it.
Yeah.
You know, I did let that go.
Mhm.
As a matter of fact, the irony. So see, I guess I should have said something to her sooner. I should have taken action sooner.
Mhm.
But the irony is, maybe it's a good thing I didn't, because the leprechaun checked it out and it wasn't that great.
No.
2 thumbs down.
So from 1 to 10, how bad is the situation with
Well,
Elena?
it's bad enough to where I'm still feeling pain to this day. I'm still angry to
So
this
it's like
day.
a level 8
It's
bad?
that bad.
Or is it like if you went to the
It's-
doctor on an emotional pain scale and had to say
I
from
say
1
it's
to
a
10,
level 10 because he's been crying and crying and crying.
he's crying.
Yeah.
You just outed him.
I'm sorry,
You
Booger.
outed him for having emotions.
I know. Aww.
It could be just low testosterone. I don't know. I don't know.
It's perfectly that. I'm in groups with men who cry all the time,
Yeah.
and we see men cry all the time. But
Yeah. It's
I just-
I feel like
cry.
he feels outed by that.
Yeah. Right.
I did have this swing
Mhm.
from thinking that I lost this opportunity
Mhm.
to dodging a bullet.
Right.
Because if we did get together, I would have been drinking with her every day, and we would have been arguing. We would have been fighting. She would have been abusive to me.
Okay. So we have a
And-
level 10 situation.
Yeah.
How do we get it? How do we get it to a level 9?
And it's been
I-
level 10 for
What's-
like 2 weeks now.
What's
I-
what's the one thing you want to talk to, or you think it's gonna bring it down to a 9?
I think if we talk, it'll bring it down to a 0, maybe. But I don't.
Wow, that's
That's
great.
fine.
That's awesome.
But-
No,
but
keep that in mind.
but
You're
you know
gonna
what?
take it to
I
a 0
don't wanna
with one
force it.
conversation.
We tried doing a force thing where Pink and the leprechaun brought her in the room.
Well, the thing is that we
To
weren't,
mediate?
it wasn't feeling forced, but the thing is that you were acting really angry. Like, it wouldn't have been forced if you wouldn't have acted out in such an emotional way towards her and, like, made things
So-
worse with her instead of actually trying to talk to her when we brought her into the room.
I was not calm.
She walked into the room so, like, okay, I'm ready to talk, and then you just start attacking her.
I got tense, and
Let's just give him some empathy in the situation.
I
Let's
got.
just give him the empathy. for
You
the
don't have to.
situation.
I don't. You don't have to do that.
I'm sorry.
You
Well,
don't-
I'm gonna give you the empathy for the situation because I see you need
When-
empathy
when-
for it so bad.
When we tried to talk, I felt tense and hostile, and I could not talk to her calmly. I threw darts. Like,
Of course you did. It was
Yeah.
hard. It was really hard because you put yourself in danger for this person, right?
well, we just have a history.
You have a
We're
history.
like 4-year friends
So you
who trust each other.
have a connection from 4 years and you really love her.
Maybe I didn't realize how much I loved her until after she hooked up with one of my friends, and then it
Oh, and that
it was like
hurt
a
really
it was like
bad.
a jealousy, insecurity. It was just like, what the fuck? Like, I don't know. Maybe it was entitlement. I don't
It
know. I don't
Doesn't
know.
matter because you know what?
I just
That was wrong. It didn't. It hurt your feelings. Of course, it would make you upset if someone you liked had sex with your friends. I've had that happen to me.
it's not the sex part. It's just
I had to
the
live with-
interest. It's the interest. She just totally fell for this guy she just met,
Mhm.
and her and I have history. Like,
Have a connection.
yeah. And
And-
did we lose that much since the whole? Because we did this thing where I rented a room out, and that was like what started all the drama. because she was having a hard time renting a room out in her house, and I was trying to help her with that. Did everything fall apart since then, or was there something? I think the truth is.
So you're really confused about how she's feeling.
I think the truth is, this is my 30-year friends and 20-year friends telling me this, is that she used me. That's the truth. She like led me on a little bit. And we were never really friends. She told Pink, she was just like desperate for money or something.
She didn't tell me that.
Or what did she say? Like she just needed money or something?
No, she didn't say that she needed. Well, she did tell me. Yeah, she did tell me that she reached out to you after you guys were already friends. She reached out to you to start hanging out with you more often because she knew that you could give her work.
That doesn't imply that. Okay.
But she's still friends. She was still friends with.
But
she was still already friends with you before she decided that she needed a job.
That I think is the head-scratching mystery, the core mystery to this whole story is she really my friend or not?
I think she is really truly your friend. If she wasn't truly your friend, then she wouldn't be hanging out with you all the time.
But she's also telling you that I'm repulsive. But this is the same person
that must have been really hard to hear.
Well, when I first heard that comment, when she's saying that I'm repulsive, I'm thinking this is the same person that slept in my bed 100+ times, and I've never made a move because I'm a gentleman. I've never made a move on her, not one time, never, ever. And she says I'm repulsive. So is she really thinking I'm repulsive, talking shit, or is she jealous? Does she there's some Scooby-Doo mysteries here, unsolved mysteries.
So you want a little clarity on how she's feeling about you.
I feel like I have clarity for the most part. We weren't on the same page. I feel like we are on the same page now. Actually, I do have clarity with that. We were never on the same page.
And where's this deep sadness?
I don't know. I just probably because I faltered. I overreacted emotionally instead of logically. I failed. I'm not as perfect as everyone thought I was, or like how you said your view of me changed, or whatever. Like you thought of me as someone like a better person, and you're seeing now that I'm not as good of a person as you thought I was, or something like that.
Well, we know the center self of everybody is always compassionate and kind. Those are parts of us.
I do care about people. I don't hurt people, but sometimes I do make mistakes, and I'm not perfect. And all I could think of is to be honest rather than like hide it or lie about it. Because it would be so much easier to hide it and lie about it than let everybody know how much I suck.
I just want to hug that part that thinks it sucks.
It's true.
And until the other part's saying that to that part, then it's okay.
If I would have
just for that part to be here today.
If I didn't suck, then I would have approached her after a few days or a few weeks and said, "Hey, what's going on? Why are we being passive aggressive to each other?"
Do you
but I suck,
or
yes,
do you have
because
a different love language than she does?
I suck because I couldn't do that. I couldn't do what I was supposed to do, which was the right thing, which was approach her. But I couldn't do it. I could do it with you and everyone else. Why is she coming over here, ignoring me, giving me downward looks? But I couldn't do it to her for some reason. I fed into the negativity.
Well, something's got to move in this situation. Something's got to move.
I probably.
He's been talking in circles, saying the same things over and over again for like the last 3 weeks. Actually, no, for the last couple months about this whole situation.
So
it's like your brain has like gotten comfortable with thinking in those circles.
It's gotten really hard on itself. And that must be really hard to just be hard on itself all the time.
Your brain probably has a habit of thinking about it by now. Because once you think about something so many times, your brain starts to get a habit of thinking about it.
Or the whole thing where they siphon your energy when you think about them. Even her energy. Where if you focus on yourself, maybe she'd be thinking about you. Give yourself self-love instead of self-hate.
I do love myself.
I do feel like
You
whenever
know?
people think about other people, you probably are sending energy. The thought is getting sent into the universe, and it's about that person, so it's getting sent to that person. I read I saw this thing online about how plants, if these plants have someone that cares about the plant, and that plant is not being taken care of by that person, but that person is still thinking about that plant far away, the plant does a lot healthier and grows a lot stronger. But if you're not thinking about the plant and you suddenly start just not giving a fuck about the plant or thinking about it at all while it's still getting taken care of by someone else, the plant won't be as happy and it will start to die a little bit more.
Here's why I agree with that. Intention is powerful.
You don't even have to be near the plant or speak to the plant. You can just think it from miles and miles away, and it will still feel the plant will still feel the vibrations.
It's affecting the water in the plant. If you do that with the bottle of water, it changes the molecules in the water.
I think that's just how all
things like
molecules
that
and
happen
atoms
with
are.
inanimate objects. That's why objects get haunted. It's because they had so much intention put into them, and then they get ignored and put into the closet, and they become like cursed objects. But it's really because it was like, it has a special name, like an egregore or something. But it was given a lot of attention and love, and now it's mad that it doesn't get the attention and love. And there've been like objects flying out of closets and stuff, you know. And they're like, we have to get rid of this and put it in church. It's a holy object.
Oh my gosh.
Get out of grandma's closet.
Well, we're running out of time. We have a weekly schedule, Wednesdays to 6.
From 4 to 6, yeah.
And we're gonna try to do the show for an hour, somewhere within that block of time. And also,
it's on Meditation Mandala YouTube, and we'll be uploading the audio to Podbean later on all the different streaming channels.
awesome. One thing we're gonna be working on is the show schedule. Now that we have a weekly schedule, the flow of the show, and we're also gonna work on. I think part of that is gonna be bringing in some guests. So maybe we might be able to bring a friend next week or something. Or maybe it's too soon. I don't know. We can think about that.
All right.
And then you gave out pretty much most of your contact info.
Yeah, meditationmandala.com.
Yeah, and then yours.
Oh yeah, it's Pinky TV on Instagram and Twitter, and it's Pinky on Twitch.
Nice. Mine's just Budman and Booger. You can Google it.
Yeah.
I don't really have anything going on.
You have so much going on.
I bought.
This man is all ideas.
I bought.
All I do is true.
I did buy Sensory Sound Spa.
I think you need to start posting on the internet.
For what though?
What does that mean?
So that way you can build a following, because once you have a following, you'll have a group of people to sell things to.
But which person on the internet? Or which platform on the internet?
Twitter, I think, is the best platform for you.
Right.
Twitter?
Yeah, because you can post more weed content without having to worry about getting blocked or banned.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
What?
Yep.
All right. Well, everybody here loves weed.
Yes.
Yep.
So
we hope you do too at home.
So yeah, I'm online as Budman and Booger. I kind of post a little bit, not really aggressively. I got a Twitter for your show, Pinky Intern, on Twitter, and then I did start Sensory Sound Spa Twitter and Facebook and everything, so I can talk about the sound bath.
The sound baths are awesome, guys.
Yeah.
It's a massage for your soul.
That's right. That's right. It's a molecular massage. It definitely works. Definitely heals. I met with an investor last week. The Leprechaun's mom. She's on board.
Really?
And I met with the fabricator, and we have an appointment to meet again on Saturday for a demo. And this thing is about to be built.
Man, he's gonna blow up.
Oh.
He's gonna be famous by then. He's gonna be the most famous one.
Yeah. Man, I wish that you would just go to Home Depot and start buying parts and trying to build it yourself. And we would all be getting you through building it if you did that.
Last night I gave Pinky the moon. What do you think about that?
Yeah, right. This is too bright. Let me lower the brightness so you can see better.
Oh, you know how to control it. Look at that. This is the dark side of the moon right here, I think.
Yeah, I think
you don't ever see that side. There's something vibey about that, though, doesn't it?
It's so awesome.
Holding a planet in your hands makes you feel like a celestial.
Not a planet.
A moon.
A moon.
Yeah.
A planet baby.
I think that the moon apparently is a piece of Earth that got broken off of Earth from the meteor.
Yeah.
that wiped out the dinosaurs,
The Earth birthed the moon.
apparently, or something
Yeah.
like that.
Is it possible?
I don't know. Do you have a different theory about the moon?
The moon. Well, oh my God, we could spend an hour on the moon.
Well, let's do it
We can spend
next
the
week.
moon is
Next
hollow. The moon vibrates. The moon stays in a perfect elliptical orbit. We could wonder if the moon was naturally put there. Since a lot of moons are, but I read some books that say the moon was placed there, so I don't know. I can tell you 17 different theories about the moon.
Well, one thing's for sure is we should not be mining for helium-3 fuel there, because if that ignites.
There was like an astronaut that said an alien race told us to stay off the moon. I think we were told to stay off the moon. I don't think we're allowed on the moon, guys.
Well,
Why not? It's our moon. I guess it might not be
But-
our
No,
moon.
it's not our moon. Our planet was a sanctuary for intergalactic criminals for a long time because we're so dumb that they could live here and
Oh
hang
my
out.
God.
So no, we don't own our moon. No.
We're the intergalactic.
I mean,
criminals.
yes, the nice days that I don't think anyone's gonna just be like, yes, you guys have dominion over this, toddlers. There you go. We're gonna give you this. I don't think that's gonna happen tomorrow.
Yeah, I mean, it would be. I've always liked to imagine that there would be some kind of thing. You know what? I wish that our moon had a moon. I wish that we could make a moon for our moon. I think that'd be really aesthetic to look at in the
Wow.
sky. I don't know.
Is that possible?
Maybe we can make like a space
What?
station.
Could
that
we
orbits the
create-
moon.
I mean, could we create a moon maybe with like nanotech or something?
Maybe we can make
I mean,
like.
if given enough material, nanotechnology could build a mass the size of Earth in 4 hours.
Yes, and it's totally possible to make moons and place them, especially if one is trying to make sure a species stays alive. It
we
doesn't
need the
kill
moon.
itself.
We need the moon to stay alive.
No, it's
It affects the tide, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It affects the tide, but it also protects us from meteors, and it's also a good place to stay by and make sure that nobody's going to set off a nuke anywhere. Because there's been a lot of occasions of people trying to set off nukes and aliens stopping them.
Aliens just
Oh.
coming in and being like,
No,
Wow.
no, North
You
Korea,
cannot
no.
do this.
No, North Korea.
Well, on that note, it's time to say goodbye. We're out of
Thank
time.
God the aliens are saving us.
I don't think it.
Thank
I-
the aliens that
I don't
want
think they want to be thought of as saviors, but
Yeah,
all
true.
right, bye.
All right.
Guys.
Bye, aliens.
Bye.